said that reading makes you more empathetic. It's a way to escape your own life, and it can put you in other people's shoes. So today we've got a very, very special episode of the Writer's Corner live show, and we're going to find out how Cheers from Heaven, a newly released middle grade reader that is a tale of redemption, can help children and young people all over the world become a better version of themselves and help to combat bullying. Don't go away. We will be right back with this episode of the Writer's Corner live show. If you have just joined us, then welcome to the Writer's Corner live show. I'm your host, Bridget Limbanda from Cape Town in South Africa, and our stream today is made possible by Creative Edge, StreamYard, and BeLive Media. A special warm welcome to you, our audience, because this is what live video is all about. It's all about the audience. So whether you're watching us over on Amazon Live, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, a very, very warm welcome. It's an audience-centric show, so please say hello in the comments if you feel like. If you've got a question for our author today or about our book today, then please let us know. But first of all, I want to say a very warm welcome to my friend and co-host, Mary Elizabeth Jackson. She's a special needs and disabilities advocate and the award-winning author of the Poolicious children's book series. And of course, today, the brand new released Cheers from Heaven, along with her co-author, the amazing Thornton Klein. So we definitely want to put our hands together and give them a warm, warm welcome. But before I bring them onto the screen, just before I do that, what makes the show possible is the technology that we use. So if you're watching us over on Amazon Live, you will notice that I've got the microphone that I'm using, the Samsung microphone. It's a USB condenser microphone that's in the carousel. I am using a Logitech Brio, and I know Mary uses the same camera that's in there. But more importantly, the book that we are releasing today is also in the carousel. And so with that, I want you to give a big warm welcome to Mary and also Mary and Thornton, a huge, big welcome. And oh my goodness, congratulations on the release of this amazing new book. Whose brainchild was this? Did you both come up with it? Where did the idea? I mean, this book is so needed. Who thought of this? I mean, this is amazing.
We both did, right? Yeah. It was one of those times we were together and I don't know, we just get on this same wavelength sometimes of creativity and some idea will come. Like last night we were talking about marketing for this book and we're going to try to do something really different and it just happened and it's so funny because we wrote it a couple of years ago. It's just taken all this time to get here, but yeah, we just thought about what is important for kids, what is important right now. How can we write a book that's going to help kids and not just tell a story, right, Thornton?
Correct. And thanks to Jim and his partner at Black Dog, and also on Tuscany Bay Books for seeing the vision and believing in it, and such a great story and everything. And also thank you, Mickey Mickelson.
Yes, absolutely. We're so grateful for their support because it really does takes a village, right, to move something into the world. Just from creation to where it is now, and it's taken so long. So it's like I just feels like it feels like such a sigh of relief and just is so much excitement. And we're so grateful for all the support. We really truly are. It means a whole lot. And I'm so grateful God brought us together and that he's put the people in our lives that are here and continues to allow us to meet those that we're all kind of on that same path. And we're hoping this book is going to do some really great things. So I'm so grateful for our introduction, Thornton, back in 2015, because we come a long way from there.
I'm glad we both met, and you saw my creativity and I saw yours, and a team.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now I don't think I have had such a studio full of people in like a really, really, really long time since we started the Writers Corner live show just over 3 years ago. And it is just warms my heart with all the many people that have reached out to say, please, can we be a part of the show? We just want to say congratulations to Mary and Thornton. So what I'm going to do is, I do know that some of the people can't stay with us for the entire duration of the show. So I'm going to invite one or two people that I know can just pop in for a few minutes. And I think that the very first two people that we're going to invite to join us is Linda and Terry. So shall we say a warm, big welcome to them?
Yes.
Hey, guys.
Hi, Terry.
Hey.
Hi,
Congratulations, Mary Elizabeth and Thornton. I got to tell you that this is a book for our times. And Mary, as we all know, is a phenomenon. She's one of the few who turns ideas into action. This latest collab is another example of how we can all become world changers. Great book. It's something that's needed. I think it's going to be a smash hit. Well done, you two. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you, Terry. And if we do the audiobook, Thornton, we need to talk to Terry because Linda knows he's got the voice. So.
This is the odd thing, and this is one of the reasons I love Linda Sunshine West. She's always thinking about doing things a little differently. So having a male narrate her amazing book, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore, might seem a little outside the box, but even as my wife was listening to it, she's my ultimate critic. She was saying, you know what? You gave a pretty good impression of what it must be like to be inside a woman's heart. And I got to tell you that narrating that book helped me have greater empathy for the world at large and for these amazing people who wrote these stories. So I can't wait to read yours in that same way, because I know it's magic.
Thank you, Terry. You're awesome. Yes, and you and Thornton haven't met before, so introduce you. We're introducing you guys together. You're both amazing. Everybody on here is just so amazing. So thank you guys for your support. It really, really means the world. So just want you to know that.
Great to meet
you. Terry, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. And let's hand over to Linda Sunshine West.
Yeah, I'm so excited. First of all, congratulations. This is fantastic. Brigetti, I love the reel that you put together, introducing the book. I thought that was fabulous. So congratulations on that. But Mary, you inspire so many people. And here's the thing, because you said there's so many great people coming on this show today. That's because we're a reflection of the people that we hang out with the most. So I want you to remember that the reason these amazing people are here is because of you. We're here to support you, to also to help people to see that this is an important book. And like Terry said, especially this is a book of this time. It's really important. Bullying has been around forever, since the very, very beginning of time, but it's really come into the forefront now. And if we can help our kids at a younger age realize that there are better ways to have conversations with people, or, to say, oh, that person over there might be hurting, and so maybe have a conversation with them, that, your book is going to really help kids and parents. You got to get this book, start reading it to your kids, and also go check out Mary's TikTok. I'm just saying.
Are you talking about the one with Carson?
You
The
figured
legend.
out TikTok.
Yeah.
You're one of the few who's figured that out.
Well, I'm trying. I'm still working on it. It's, we got so many platforms to work on. So, but yeah, so Thornton and I just really wanted to do something other than just a story. And it's interesting. Part of this there's some truth in this story, that something that happened with Thornton was a child that we put in this story, right, Thornton?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So it's in the beginning, it kind of filters through. So, it's nice to use something in real life in a book to help others. And Thornton and I both have a lot of aspirations and hopes for this book. And it's already getting a lot of support from just about everyone I talk to. I was on a walk the other day, and I happened to have Miss Teen USA National lives in my neighborhood, and her platform is actually Bailey Guy. You'll have to check her out on Facebook, but her platform is reading and literacy for children. I said, hey, guess what? We got to collaborate, so, and as Linda waves a banner for all of us to collaborate over competition. And it's very important because, bringing two minds together can make the difference in something that goes out into the world to help others. And when we come together of service-minded hearts. And so there's organizations. Every organization I've talked to it really wants to endorse and support this book, and that goes all the way from there's Disability Rights and Autism Tennessee and global not-for-profits, and so it's really, they're seeing the vision that we have and how we want to bring to children from early age on up new language, new tools for this came out the other day on an interview, their life box, because we all have a box, right, of tools that we need to help us through life. So let's just call it our life box. And so if we could gear kids with this full of new language and ways to process and how to feel better about themselves when they're having a difficult time, be able to come back to that well-being of mental health and have outlets, we can raise totally different kids right now. And that's only going to be better for the entire world and the future, because we got to remember these guys will be us someday. So let's mend them and mold them and help them to be in a better place, and to be able to make better choices, and say, hey, we can talk about this, right, Linda? We can have a conversation.
Yeah. And I wanted to touch on that because, the bullying oftentimes starts as kids, right? But then when we're bullied, we learn how to bully. And so it's just like this cycle that we go into. And then, in our book, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore, that Terry mentioned, and, both Brigetti and Mary are in that book. And it's interesting because a lot of us in that book, we were bullied. So what happened is we became silenced. That's how we became invisible, right? So we had to learn later in life how to become invincible. So if we could stop that at the head as children, then just imagine what a greater planet we would be living on. And that's one of the things I strive for, is to, make this a positive planet as much as I can, to do my part. And your book is definitely going to do that, Mary. And I'm so excited to read it myself.
So I got a question for Thornton. When people finish this book, what is the takeaway that you hope they will take with them?
I'm glad you asked. Actually, I think it's the book shows us the importance of recognizing individualism and differences of people, and their their talents, gifts that we all have in this world. And that's one of the takeaways from it, thinking, wow, there's people every day that kind of go unnoticed, like she was saying about silenced, invisible. They go unnoticed and under the radar and everything. And it's really sad that a lot of people's gifts are either made fun of, ridiculed, or just their differences are ridiculed. And they happened to me when I was growing up. It was difficult, not only difficult being a redhead, fiery redhead, but also at the time it was not cool. Supposedly, at the time I was growing up, it wasn't cool to play the violin or fiddle or keyboard or music, because it was just not, sports was a thing, things like that. So it was, I came upon harsh judgment on that and stuff. But luckily, very fortunately, I've been born. I had a strong mother and father, who always, encouraged and was on my side in my camp, and she always, she told me, encouraged me to stick to my guns and not people push me around and bully me. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, and Linda, I want to say something to band nerd, your comment, because let me tell you something. Being able to play instruments, do the things like Thornton has done and is doing, takes a genius that is not always on a test, right? That you cannot put on a piece of paper, but it is a brilliance of a different kind that needs to be honored. Because if you it's really hard to read music and write music. It's a talent. So you know what? Nerds being cool, right? Okay. I don't think it's a nerdy thing at all. I think it's genius is what I think it is. So.
Well, in school, we were
Absolutely.
called the band nerds, the band geeks. We were made fun of. And that's the point here is the bullying. Bullying comes in different forms. And sometimes it might seem like, oh, we're just teasing. And I did a post on Facebook the other day that's something like, joking is only joking when everybody's laughing. Because otherwise it's bullying in some some forms. And really, you think about music. Music is the universal language. Like everybody can speak music because we hear it through our ears and we emote with it in different ways. And, some people emote with, rap, and some people emote with classical, right? And there's so many different genres out there, but we really can connect through that music. And like you said, it's a really great way to, share that nerdiness, so to speak, as we were called nerds. But really, as you say, we were smart people that were able to do that, and we were made fun of. So what happens? We squelch ourselves. We start to become silenced, and we start to stop sharing our voice. We stop, playing the instruments. Like me, I stopped playing, and until we become older, when we start to grow up and say, what, that was fun. I like doing it. I'm going to start doing it again. But really, a lot of times we allow those, people who bully us, we allow it to squelch our voices. And I was one of those. That's how I became invisible.
Well, I'm glad you're not anymore.
Yeah, me too. It's a lot better.
Absolutely. So some of the people have got to also leave, and I want to introduce Mickey Mickelson. He is the publicist. So Mickey, we'll just give you a few minutes to introduce yourself, because you've done an amazing job as a publicist. And Linda, thank you so much for joining us. It was fantastic having you. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, guys.
Terry,
Bye.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brigetti. It's an intense and incredible pleasure to be here today. I've worked with Marian Thornton on the last 3 books in the Poolicious series, and I suspect, and I will comfortably predict, that this new book is going to even achieve even better and more incredible results. I mean, the storyline is amazing, and just what they're doing with it's I can't even explain how important it is from not only a publicity standpoint, but from a social standpoint as well, and what they're trying to say and messaging. So I'm the publicist for it, but I feel honored to be even part of working within this project, just knowing how great Mary and Thornton both are.
Thank you, Mickey. Well, we're honored to have you and just be a team.
Honored.
Yeah. So we're so thankful for it.
That is amazing. So thank you very much for stopping by, Mickey. I really appreciate that you made time to come and say hello and just give your well wishes to Mary and Thornton as well. So thanks very much, Mickey.
We know you're busy. Thank you, Mickey.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your lunch.
Okay.
Take care. Thank you. And so some of the other people that have been amazing supporters of both you and Thornton, like from the beginning of when we started the Writers' Corner live show, has been Darshawn and Robert Kern. So I'm going to bring them onto the show because they have just been amazing, amazing, amazing people on the Writers' Corner live show. Let's invite them too.
Yes. Hi, Robert. Hi, Darshawn.
Oh, hello.
And we're literally more global than we were when we started because we've got Ireland in the house, Dublin, right? Dublin, Ireland. We're in, and Bridgetti's in South Africa. So
Canada.
Yes. Oh, and Mickey was just here. Well, Mickey, is from Canada. Yes. And Robert and Darshawn, thank you so much for supporting us and just, being in we've got a really great circle, don't we, going of support. Even if we don't get to talk to each other all the time, we're there and we get to interact and play, I guess, if you want to say, and have fun and do stuff when we're able to. But that support is there, and it means a lot. It really means a lot.
Well, congratulations.
You go ahead, Darshawn. Thanks. No, you work away. Go on.
Okay, no, congratulations to you too. It's been a pleasure knowing you both as I got a chance to interview you about your books, and I love how you guys are keeping it positive towards children. So congratulations on this launch. I know you guys are going to continue to do like a huge series. And for once, I'm happy to celebrate somebody else instead of promoting my stuff all the time. So it's good to talk to other people and say, hey, what do you have going on? So it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Darshawn. Yes, and Darshawn is a publisher and an author, and he has a children's series, and he has the clothing line and a cologne line, and
Oh, wow.
he reminds me, you guys are versions of each other with pots boiling everywhere.
Well,
and
I was
then,
admiring his genius, all the things he does. Wow.
I know. And then you're getting ready to go into animated, right? No, gaming.
The game just came in the mail today, and we're going to do animation. We're still working on animation, so we have like a board game and some card games, but we're going to take over the gaming industry.
I love it. Just put it out there, buddy.
Yeah,
I love his ambition. We're going to take over the gaming industry. Unbelievable.
He should have been in the
I need to
Fearless
connect with
Publishing
you,
Group.
Darshawn. I can't believe I haven't actually talked to you before, considering I've known Mary now for a few years, and she seems to have known you for a few years, and yet we haven't talked. So we need to do that. You sound like a great guy, really interesting. Congratulations, Mary and Thornton, on the book. Absolutely wonderful again. It's only a short time since we saw the Poolicious being released. Here you are in no time. It was actually a surprise to me. I was like, where did this come from?
This has been baking in the oven for a long time.
It's been baking in the oven for a long time is what I've heard, but for me, having seen it on the back of the other book, it was like, these guys are on a roll. This is amazing. And Mary was very kind and to share with me some illustrations there recently. I asked her for them, and I tell you what, it's just wonderful. Her daughter is absolutely astonishing, and she did an amazing job on this. And I think she's worked with Thornton on some other projects as well, Lily. And I think this is the first time I've really gotten to see her work properly. I know I've seen a couple of bits and pieces on Facebook and whatnot, but what Mary sent me there last week, it's fabulous. And for a young woman to be doing these things, I think, is she still in high school?
Yeah, she's a senior, and she can't be here with us today because, she is taking the ACT today. So that's where she is.
Wow. But I tell you what, she's fantastic. And I really hope that she gets a mention from everybody in regards to this as well, just because of her involvement and what she has contributed. And I think she makes your books in certain ways. I mean, yes, you guys are the writers, but I love what she has done to bring your books to life. And I think she deserves a huge, I'd say round of applause if she was here, but she's not here. But anyway, I'd love if you could just pass on my regards to her and tell her what a great job that I think she's done.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and Thornton got her started too, didn't you, Thornton, with your Mrs. P series?
Well, yeah, that's true. That's very true. I second that too. I think she's not only talented, she's gifted, and I think she's going a long ways. I think she's good. We've just seen the beginning of Lily Grace Jackson.
Fantastic.
I believe so too. And with that, we're going to take a very, very, very short break.
Hello everyone, my name is Lily Jackson. I'm on here today to say congratulations to my mom, Mary Jackson, and to Thornton Klein. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to illustrate your book. I got to do the front cover and the illustrations on the inside. Good luck today, guys, and congratulations!
I love it.
We need to dance.
Yeah,
That's rocking.
that was
That's
good.
rocking.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah, so we all want to say
So that was a brief hello.
That was a brief hello. We just want to send her sweet little, prayers or good vibes today doing her ACT because she's nervous. And, the interesting thing is colleges aren't taking them as much as they were before just because of the pandemic, but they still are very important to do and, count very much. So yeah, I'm so sad she and my other daughter both can't be here because they both were involved in this project. And actually, as Thornton knows and Darshan and Robert and everybody, it really takes your family's support to be able to do the things that you want to do. Even Brigetti, we've got to have that support in our families, don't we? So.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nothing happens without our family support.
And you talked about writer support as well there a while ago, Mary. And it's been wonderful to make some great connections since I started writing just a few years ago. And just meeting you and having that connection with you straight away, and we've kept it going, which I'm very grateful for. And I think it's wonderful to be able to talk with other writers, especially when you've got something going on and you've got some good news to share. And even when maybe you just need somebody to talk to about something that's bothering you. It's wonderful to have another person there that knows what you're talking about. And so it's fantastic being able to do these little events with you and to be a part of them. And for that, I'm grateful, and grateful for your friendship as well. So thank you very much.
Me too. Me too.
Robert and
Robert, thank you so much. I mean, that is absolutely awesome. You've been a great support to the Writers Corner live show from the very, very beginning. And it's always such a huge, huge pleasure to be able to have you on the show. So thank you so, so much. Darshan, you have also, I mean, you have blown my mind with the kind of stuff that you're coming up with, and just sort of putting things out there and saying you're planning to take over the world with what you're planning to do. That is just so amazing, and just want to wish you all the best with what you're doing. And I know that you're going to do what you set out to do. I know you will.
Yes, he will. You should see his posts. He's got
oh wow,
he got some fly pictures. Let me tell you what. I mean, they're like so cool. Look like they came out straight out of a magazine. And sometimes I'll text him and going, "Oh, okay, man, that's awesome." That was a hot post. So yeah. But he's got that mindset, this is what he wants to do. And it doesn't matter what anyone says. It doesn't matter. What I've learned from Darshan is he's fallen down and gotten back up, but he's never said, I'm done. You've never given up. As long as I've known you, you're plowing through, you're making it your own dance in life, your own path, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it. I know it.
It shows how much he believes in himself. It shows how much you believe in yourself. Yes. You don't worry about what peers say or peer pressure or what the critics say or anything like that, right?
And that's something that's very important for kids. As I've said this plenty of times before, we don't realize how much the little people are looking at us. And when you quit and when you give up, that's what they'll do. But when you lead by example, they'll say, "Hey, I remember when Dad, I remember when Mom, or I remember when I saw this person do this." So I think this is why it's so important for you guys to be writing the books that you're writing, because you're going to lead by example, and it's not okay to bully anybody, because at the end of it, when you look at your life, all you're trying to do is get to a place of comfort for yourself. And, how wrong is it for someone to discourage you along the way, because they don't really know what you've been through or what your story is. So, again, congratulations to you guys for, pushing that positive energy out there to kids. They're going to need it, especially during these times.
Oh, amen. Amen. Thank you for all that, Darshan. Absolutely. 100%, 100%, as Brigetti would say.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we've got a comment there from Jenny. She's saying,
Oh.
Darshan, seen Lily's cartoon characters. If you plan to take over the gaming industry, she will be a really great person to help you do that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Jennifer. This is one of my friends. I know Jennifer and I have been friends for 22 years and had 2 of our children together. Thank you, Jen. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, Darshan, you need to see some of her work because it's pretty rocking. She actually has a consult with a Disney animator, to look over her stuff. So I mean, it's I'm excited for her. And this is a child this is another thing that's really important about this book. Along with this book and some of the things that we're teaching is giving those avenues to children. We're all creative beings. We all need an outlet. And when a child does not have an outlet that's healthy, like constructive, those emotions, because we know for kids, they're like this, right? In 1 minute, they're ginormous. The next minute, they're fine. But if they don't have an outlet for that and learn how to process and understand, oh, this is what I'm feeling right now, and be able to come back to a more well-balanced place, all that does is fester inside them, and they're just confused or depressed, and anxiety swells up because they don't know what to do with it. So I know with my own children, I gave them outlets. Like my oldest has a hard time talking about how she felt. So I said, okay, write it out for me, dance it out, play an instrument. Let's run, let's jump, let's sing, do whatever it is. And then she could get it out and then be able to talk to me, or at least write it down or draw it. So from early on for Lily, who was nonverbal as a child. So early on, drawing and art was really her thing. And for starting from age 2, she would spend days on pictures with all the little teeny detail. I had no idea where it would lead, but what I did know is it was giving her a way to process what she was feeling, especially when she was nonverbal at that time, could not express what she was feeling. She could just scream. I mean, she could be 2 feet in front of me screaming at me because she was so frustrated inside because she couldn't say how she felt. So a lot of these things I have been taught from my children, and children are some of our greatest teachers in life, aren't they? So, give them an outlet. Music is very much almost the same vibration we are. It's why it's a universal language for all of us. So playing music, listening to music, doesn't it calm us down? Or if we need to clean the house or do something, we could put on some exciting music to get us going.
Absolutely. I cannot agree more with that. We've got some more people waiting to get into the studio. Yeah. So I'm going to invite Kim Glass to join us, another amazing supporter. Kim, welcome to the show. So glad to have you here.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Thank you so much. It's so great to see you all. Congratulations. I'm cheering for you all in Texas, and I'm so blessed that we had the opportunity to meet you along our journey, and just the soft skills that you're teaching in this book are so important and so impactful. And what a great month for you to be launching this book on National and International Bullying Prevention Month. So shout out. I cannot wait to have it in my hands. And I know some of the adults that I lead through soft skills. This will definitely be a book to help adults remember where they came from, how are they leading teams, and how are they making a positive difference today. So congratulations. I'm so thrilled to be here with you all.
Thank you, Kim,
Thank
you
much. So much, Kim. It's wonderful having you here. And we're also going to invite Marielle to the show, who's been another great supporter. Marielle, thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to the show.
Unmute. There we go.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad, I'm so honored to be here with Mary and Thornton in the launching of this wonderful book. I'm totally a supporter of not only, writing and creating work that is so helpful for kids and everybody and parents as well. So congratulations. I'm so honored.
Thank you, Marianne.
Are you in New
Thank
York?
you so much.
Virginia or New York?
Bye, Robert. Robert's going to jump off. Bye, Robert. Thank you.
Bye, Robert.
Yeah, so Muriel's in New York, right?
I am, yes. New York City.
Hello.
Oh.
She's a great storyteller too, and great translator. Everything, amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. We're so excited to have you here. Thank you so much for supporting this. And, we just, the stories in this book, the lessons and everything affect all of us, don't they? And so the more people that we can get this book to, children, families, it's time to make families strong. We've learned that through the COVID about bringing families together. We need to keep them strong during this time and moving forward. There needs to be healing, and there needs to be, my son is autistic. He's autism level 1, and he's been taught some of the things that Kim's talking about, but he's been taught about emotions. And even so for him, I mean, he's 8 years old, and when he gets all, and I'll say, okay, buddy, what's going on? And he may say something to me like, I'm just so excited, mommy. I just don't know what to do. But he's put a word to it. And he's put a word to it for himself and for me. Then we can communicate about it. Then we can find some solutions. Okay, well, maybe we should go outside in the sun. Maybe you should do some push-ups or jumping jacks, or, maybe we should go kick a ball, and let's get that excitement out. But what it does is it de-escalates a situation that could turn into something that is more than that, and that is frustrating for parents, caregivers, grandparents. It diffuses. It allows the diffusion of situations more and more, the more that you apply these life skills and tools. Right, Kim?
So true. So true. We often talk about patterns and generational patterns that are passed down from maybe ancestors we never met before. But yes, pattern passes down. And so being aware of that when we're out there facing situations, that is something that and make that next generation so much better off, lessons and the experiences that we have had to better their life going forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so the other person that's waiting to get to join us in the studio is Nancy Lockhart. But just for those who've just joined us, just as a reminder, this is the reason why we are here on the show today. Nancy, I'm so delighted that you can join us for the celebration of Cheers from Heaven.
Yay!
Thank you. I
Oh,
just
it's
took a
my
picture.
it's absolutely my pleasure. Congratulations, Marion Thornton. I did get a chance to read the book last night. I cannot tell you, it is such a soul-filled human book, and I think it is just amazing that you're delivering this message to our young people. But truly, it's a message that can be absorbed and celebrated for everybody. And I just think it is so cool that, you know, in the book, you're really giving people permission to respond to people's differences in a way that's not scary, in a way that allows them to be curious and to embrace and then to celebrate our differences. So I am truly, truly honored to be here to celebrate and to encourage people to get the book, because you will enjoy it. You will get so much from it. And the illustrations are amazing as well. I'm so impressed.
Oh, Nancy. Wow. I got goosebumps. Okay. So you need to be our poster child for the book.
I'd be happy to. I would be happy to. And I will definitely have my girls read it too, because I think, you know, we assume that our kids are aware of that, and we hope that we're teaching the lessons that you guys are both teaching. But it's really important to share that from another point of view, from another perspective, to say, you never know what little things they might click with our young people that go, oh my God, I didn't realize it was doing this or that or something else. So I thank you guys so much for writing this book and for sharing it with the world.
It's an absolute pleasure. And I think next I would like to introduce Jim Christina. Jim, thank you so much for joining us for the celebration of Cheers from Heaven.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's wonderful to be here. Hi, Mary. Hi, Thornton.
Hi, Jim. Jim's our fearless publisher who's
fearless. I don't think fearless, but yeah, I'm him.
He was the one who was the brave soul with Mickey to take this on, and we are forever grateful, Jim. I hope you know that. I mean, you know, to have someone believe in what you're doing, the writing world, the author world, the book world is quite a dog eat dog. It's very challenging out there. And you really have to have people around you who believe in what you're doing, support what you're doing, and see a future and see a direction for this going. You know, it's just so important, right, Thornton?
Yes, true.
Darshawn and Kim and Mariel and Nancy, everybody knows. So we're grateful for you, Jim.
Well, we believe in the project. I mean, the project from the start was a really good story. And I just wanted to do it justice and give you the very best product we could. And I think we did that. And I think that you've got a book out there that's going to now just climb and climb and climb, because it does have a great message. And having been bullied when I was a child, I got a lot of that, and a lot of what the book's message was. And so it became a special project for me.
That means so much. It really does. Because, you know, that's a question I had. I think I've not really met somebody who was not bullied. And so, Jim, in like a few words, what would you tell your younger self now over that situation that happened to you? I'm kind of curious.
If I had it to do over again, I would take my father's advice, and his advice was stick up for yourself. You don't have to fight. You just have to stick up for yourself. Most of the times, bullies will leave you alone if you do that.
Right.
Not always. Are you going to get into some fights? You bet. Are you going to win some? You bet. Are you going to lose some? You bet. But the takeaway here is pick your battles. You can't fight them all, and you can't win them all. So just pick the ones you want to deal with.
That goes for with your children too.
That's excellent advice for kids.
Yeah, no, that's right.
So, Mariel, for you, do you have like something you would tell your younger self now that you're a grown up?
Is that me?
Yes, I'm sorry, Mariel. Yes.
Yeah, I thought I was muted again. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question, please?
Just, do you have something now that you would tell your younger self about a situation that you felt bullied or mistreated or something like that?
Yeah. I mean, just probably at some point I will say that I kind of like look very young than I was. And so I think the mistreatment was that I wanted to be treated more like an older person, and I wasn't. So right now I will say, well, I suffered from that without really knowing, without really being aware of that. And now I'm like, well, you know what? Later in life, it pays off to look a little younger. But I will say just to probably, stay strong. People that are, that hurt are actually hurting themselves. And that's something that, if I have been told that and had that support from my family, I guess I was lucky in a way that I wasn't, I don't have like really a memory of being bullied. Maybe I was, but I wasn't, wasn't something that had a great impact. But yeah, I will say just, stay strong and then be considerate to those kids who are not, you know, who are not loved or have this lack of things that at home that make them hurt others. So my daughter was bullied actually in middle school, and middle school is one of those, I think for me as a parent now with two teenagers, I can recall that middle school is one of the hardest for kids to go through. Seventh grade, I've heard from many that it's really tough, and it was. My daughter was bullied in seventh grade, so we have to navigate that, phase and that new thing for us. And I think this book is going to do a lot of good out there. So I'm so glad Thornton got me on board. We met a few years ago. I translated one of the his greatest books on music, The Shrinking Violin, and it was a great experience. And I'm so happy for you guys to have this book now.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Has there been a study that's been shown that the kids who bully are the ones who don't get a lot of attention from home? Is that part of the reason why they start to bully?
Yeah, and if Sherry Leopold comes on, I don't know if she's going to join us or not. Darshan, you should meet Sherry. She has a book called Kim, isn't it called When You're the Bully? It's something about when you're the bully, and her focus is about the bully itself. And what Sherry always says is, when someone bullies you, it's not about you, it's about them and what they're going through. And so, yeah, you're spot on about that. Yes, they're
'Cause,
taking it out on someone else.
So this is
Projecting themselves on
okay.
others, right?
So go ahead. Okay, well, so this is a great book then, because if this is a middle school reader, when I was in middle school, and this is why I do the things I do now, I had got bullied for like practically no reason. I had a situation where, I had like alopecia, I had different patches in my head, my eyebrows were gone, I was battling with eczema, and these kids would just make fun of me for no apparent reason. Some of them didn't even know my name. And as I've gotten older throughout life, I see some of those classmates, and I've told them, I say, hey man, you were a jerk to me for no apparent reason.
Good for you.
And a lot of them had apologized, and a lot of them tried to congratulate me on where I'm at in my life now. And I go, listen, when I was a kid, I was always trying to be who I am today. But like again, along that way, people start throwing stones at you and making fun of you for no apparent reason. And again, you don't know what that little kid is going through. I was trying to figure out who I was. I was trying to figure out what was going on with my skin. My parents showed me a lot of attention, and they always kept on making sure that, I stayed positive. They would always tell me I'm handsome and stuff like that, because they knew that the school that I went to, that kids were just being mean. They knew before I knew, hey, when you get to middle school, there are going to be some kids making fun of you for no apparent reason. They're not going to even know you. And when I look back on it and I go to some of the girls too, I go, why were you being mean to me for no apparent reason? I said nothing to you, never made fun of you guys, but, look at where I'm at now type of deal. And I try my very best to encourage my daughters to like never make fun of anybody, because you don't know what they're going through, what type of disabilities they may have, and it's really not any of your concern. You just treat people the way they treat you, remain in good character, have good integrity, and just know that people are just trying to get to a common place for themselves.
Yes, absolutely. Darshan, you're doing exactly the parenting I hope that this book, and I know Thornton hopes this book is going to do, is to teach parents how to parent and how to raise their kids. You know, we in our adult life, a lot of things that we do come from broken places in our lives, wounds and hurts. And so we need to heal those so that, you know, we don't come from places like that. You know, we have to ask ourselves, what is our motivation in what we're doing right now in our life? Is it coming from a good place, a healthy place, a positive place, or is it coming from a place of wound and brokenness or a crack inside us? And so if we can heal these things young, if we can teach these things young, I mean, what a difference it'll make. I think about the difference it would have made for me in my life if I had the tools then that I'm trying to put in the world now and that I've raised my own kids with. Huge difference, right? But it takes all of us doing this and all of us teaching this and all of us sharing this in order to accomplish this, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think though a lot of the stuff that goes on these days is not so much physical bullying as it is on social media bullying. And and you're right, and I firmly believe, Darshan, that it is middle school that is probably the worst, because when you get into bullying in high school, it no longer becomes bullying. Now it's assaulting. And I think that the bullying that goes on in junior high or middle school translates over to social media, TikTok and whatever. I think a lot of it comes from there, and you virtually cannot stop that. I don't know how you stop it.
Yeah, it's a hard process. I know it won't be stopped, but there is a way we can slow it down. And the way I figured out that we can slow it down is just by spending more time with your kids. I would say most of us, well, some of us who work jobs or work for an employer, let that employer know that, hey, I need to spend time with my kids. I want to work here. I love being here, but for the most part, you know, my kid needs attention and I need to be there. You know, and if your employer doesn't understand that, then I wouldn't say look for another job, but you really got to sit them down and say, hey, listen, the most important thing in life is me becoming a parent. Yeah, working here is going to make great revenue, but I need to make sure that my kid is structured throughout life, you know. And I noticed that we haven't done that. You know, my parents, they were afraid to do that. They were afraid to speak up, you know, to their employers because, you know, you had to make money for the kids. But we're in a different day and time. These kids got to go through TikTok and Snapchat and, you know, all these different things. And it's just, it's so hard to raise them. But one thing you cannot get away from is spending time with them, because that's the biggest memory they're going to have with you. And not going to be so much worried about what you did for them financially. It was, hey, my dad did this with me. You know, my dad used to go get me ice cream, or my mom used to do this. So you got to spend time. You got to listen. You got to bring them kids close. You know, you got to bring them close. You know, bring them close so the world won't snatch them up.
Oh, this is so, you are 100% right. And we also have to clean up our stuff, right? Because kids emulate everything they see in their environment. And so, you know, it's not anymore where don't do as I do as I say. That doesn't work. It's not even relevant today in this time. You know, like Carson's 8. Why can't I have a phone? Well, because he sees me on my phone, right? Why can't he have one? He can't understand it. Well, you're 8 years old. Yeah, but you have a phone, Mom. So, you know, you've got all these things that we have to figure out how to maneuver through. And, you know, Kim, will you touch briefly real quick on soft skills and like what you teach? Because I think it's very important if anyone is wondering what are soft skills. You know, I think it's important because it does go along with the book, and we are trying to teach these different skills and things to kids. There's so many that can be taught, but can you give us like a snippet of it?
Sure. Thank you, Mary Elizabeth. So when you think about, we think about social skills, and then as we grow up, we haven't healed that piece in us, then we're emulating that same thing in our younger years to our employees, to our customers. And so I share a lot about how are you engaging your teams, your employees, and your customers, and how are you making sure that they feel and that they feel heard. It doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with what they're saying, but that you do hear their perspective, and that opens up a whole different communication dialogue. I often say we're so much more alike than different. And how are we expressing that when we're meeting people, when we're working with other people? How do we express that to our customers and keep that forefront in our thoughts? And because the adults that are out there, you know, you and I shared my story. I was bullied by adults, and I didn't go to my parents because I thought my parents knew what they were saying. These little whispers in my ear, and it took a lot of years, and not even being part of my mother and father for 8 to 10 years because of these bullying adults. And so when I think about soft skills, like who are we allowing around our children? You know, like that mental and emotional bullying can also come from adults. Who are we allowing into our sphere of influence, not ourselves, but for our next generation? And being so mindful and aware of that is so crucial.
Yes, thank you so much, Kim. Absolutely. And mindfulness, boy, that's a big word. It's an important word. And awareness, us expanding our awareness of growth and understanding of things, becoming aware of our actions, behaviors, thoughts, feelings. How does it affect those around us? You know, it's also about self-care. So we want to teach our kids about self-care. What is good for you? Not a selfish way. That self-care and selfish are two different things. You know, so self-care is what's going to be best for your child, and we want to teach them what it, you know, is it the best thing for you? I'm going to just give an example here. Your kids at college, they have a horrible roommate situation, and you know, is it best for you to stay in that situation so you don't make anyone mad? No, it's not, right? The best situation for you is to inside yourself find that power to say, this is not working for me, and I'm, you know, I can't do anything about it except that it's not working for me, and we don't need to live together anymore. You know, we can be friends, but living together is not working, so we need to find different arrangements at school. So there's, and it's funny, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like situations come up out of nowhere, right, that we have to deal with, and we're not prepared for them. So it's like, oh, I was having a great day, I minded my own business, and then boom, you know, something goes on or happens, you know. So it's hard, but we do have to teach our kids this. And I do want to say, Jenny has said, helping a child to understand the bully helps too. Hurt people hurt people. That's a great statement, right? That should be a hashtag on a t-shirt. Sometimes
It
turning it
absolutely
around.
is, yeah. It
Yeah.
absolutely is. And I know that
Yeah.
Linda's also commented over on, Linda from Women Action Takers over on Amazon Live has also said, do not let your employer bully you into not spending time with your family. That's another huge, massive topic
Mhm.
on bullying as well, because that happens. That's, you
Right.
know, adult bullying is a thing.
Right. It is. It is. I mean, and especially things that are happening in our country right now and all over the world. I mean, you know, it's kind of a bully, but we won't go into that, right? We
Yeah.
want COVID to go away.
Absolutely, absolutely not. Oh my goodness. I want to say a huge big thank you to Nancy, who's also let me know that she's unable to stay for too much longer. But Nancy, a huge big shout out. Tell us quickly, just tell us very briefly what it is that Lockhart Marketing is all about before you leave.
Oh, thank you. You know what, I did want to comment because what I do is I do market strategy, primarily for women business owners, but I'm also a certified law of attraction life coach. So I kind of combine the two. And I think it's really fascinating how this book kind of feeds into some of the issues that I come across with some of the women that I work with, because while they're trying to build their businesses, they're coming up against some blocks from their past that don't allow them to be and excel, to be the best people, offer the best services to their customers that they can. And so kind of almost unraveling some of that to kind of lay a really nice foundation to move forward and to excel and to be the best that they can is one of the things that I'm able to do. And it's really a pleasure. But I think, you know, we don't even understand the ripple effect of what has happened to us as children when, you know, growing up. So this book is such a gift to be able to break that cycle and to help people to, you know, if we can make this world a better place by everyone being their best selves and doing the best that they, you know, that they're meant to be, then what an amazing treasure it is. So it is so nice to be here to support the book, to share the book, and just thank you for inviting me, Mary and Thornton and Brigetti. It's truly an honor.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Thank you. We're so grateful you're here. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks so much for joining us, Nancy. Much appreciated. And thank you for your awesome support of Cheers from Heaven, and just sharing that thought of how you are able to help women in business move around or get around being bullied. Because, you know, wherever we are, we seem to find, because I mean, the book is primarily written for children, but it has so many larger applications, because, you know, what are we, just bigger children, and we're still getting bullied. And but also the point is that, you know, the effects of bullying as a child carries on into adulthood. And Darshawn, I just wanted to pick up on something that you mentioned earlier. You know, we never know who that person is that we're bullying as a child, who they will become. You know, I've read some amazing stories of people who were bullied at school, and, you know, they start their own business, their own corporation, and guess who's coming for an interview? Someone who used to bully them at school. You know, so be mindful that life is not just about what's happening right now. And I think, you know, young people have a very short-term view of life, unfortunately, and they only see the immediacy of what's going on in that little circle, and they don't think beyond that little bubble that they find themselves in right now, and they don't often recognize and realize how what they do now is going to impact them in future. Their job opportunities, the person that they may marry could be jeopardized. You know, there's just so many implications that bullying has. So it's a huge topic. And, you know, Thornton and Mary, I think you've done a phenomenal job getting this, you know, in school as a middle grade reader. And I really hope that this is going to go from school to school to school. You know, and thank goodness that we've moved into a more digital world. Because what I would like to see is that for the two of you to be able to offer book readings to schools, not just in Tennessee, but globally, you know, because you now have the opportunity to be in the classroom wherever digital is available. And my goodness, digital is available in every school right now. So amazing.
That's a fantastic idea. Hey, I wanted to say, Brigetti and everybody here, unfortunately, I have a class that I need to teach here in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to have to bow out, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was an honor and a pleasure and everything. And thank you all for all your support and congratulations and everything. So,
before you go, Thornton, I want to tell you that I have a hard copy coming for you and for Mary. They're going to Mary's house, so she's going to have to get it to you. But you have a hard copy of the book coming.
Awesome. We just appreciate you so much. Thank you, Tuscany Bay, Black Dog Publishing, and thank you, Jim, for believing in us and seeing the same vision that we do, that we have, and all your support and belief.
Well,
and thank you all.
It was my honor.
Thank you,
And
Jim.
Thornton, also, I want to invite you to come on the writer's block next year.
Okay.
We're booked up through, I believe, February.
Okay.
But if you will contact the bookie, guest wb@yahoo.com,
Okay.
and make arrangements to get on our show. I'd love to have you.
Oh, I'd be honored. And thank you, Brigetti. Thank you all, Deshaun, Marielle, Kim, and Mary. What a great co-author and friend too, and just everything.
I also
I
wanted
love
to
you,
add
buddy.
that you guys Thornton and Mary are invited to our story time through the Word Up Bookshop in New York, and also and with me program that I also do virtually ever since the pandemic started. So we definitely need to talk about this and read children's book.
We would love to. We would love to, because bullying, all these issues transcend everyone all over the globe. It's not just a certain area of the country or the world, right? It just transcends everything and everyone. So, Thornton, I'm so glad that we were introduced and that we're here in this place, and we have so much more ahead of us to do. And we've got some fun marketing that we came up with last night that we get to work on. And so we're going to try some different strategies, right? So we're excited about that.
Well, all my best to you, and thank you again, and appreciate you spreading the word about it, the book and everything.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Thank
See
you,
ya. Have a good day.
Thornton. Have a good teaching class.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thornton, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you could join us today. That was amazing, and congratulations again on this amazing book that I think is going to do a lot for children and everyone out there.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, Thornton.
Big pleasure.
Take care, my
Bye,
friend.
Thornton.
You know, Mary, one thing I want to say to you is that
Yes, sir.
after having read this book 165 times,
We went through some editing.
that's what we do.
I know.
You know, and going through and God knows how many pages of corrections and
Periods and
so the bottom line is, when you think your book is edited, it's not.
Right. It's a moral of the story.
It's a moral of the story. But really, if the bottom line is that this book is not only about bullying, that is the basic of the book, but it also highlights self-awareness for kids. It makes them very self-aware of their behaviors and what they can do and what is acceptable to do. And
Right.
you did a very good job of showcasing that as well, although it was not as blatant. I didn't really get it until about my third time through the book. And all of a sudden it dawned on me. The light went on.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Well, that's,
I don't normally read for content. I read for other reasons. So,
Right.
you know, when I get into the story, well, anybody who's a publisher, Darshan, you should know this. You know,
Yeah.
we don't read for storylines. We don't read, you know, our first time 2 or 3 times through a book, we're reading for errors and mistakes and punctuation and story continuity and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we're not reading for story. But then when we finally get a chance to sit down and relax and read what we're looking at and really understand, sometimes lights go on. You know, and when they do, and it's a book like this one, I won't even call it a novella, because when you have children's books, they're not novellas, they're books. When you have a book like this one that is so well done and it's so prophetic in the fact that it really goes out and shows you what life can be like if you're doing this, or if you are part of the cause of this. And it really does a good job, and I applaud you.
Thank you, Jim. That's high honors coming from you, you know, because my mom, you know how my mom feels
Loved
about your
my book,
writing.
yeah.
Yes, my mother just thinks he's like one of the best writers ever. So
She
I
found one
appreciate
mistake. One mistake.
Oh,
incidentally, for new writers out there, if you're gonna submit, great. If you're gonna send us covers, great. My partner is a fantastic guy when it comes to book covers. Don't embed fonts in your covers.
Yeah.
Do not put the title of the book on the page. Send us the artwork. That's it.
Yeah,
that's see. There's the look at all these lessons we're learning today, right?
Exactly.
So
Well, Lily learned that one.
Yeah, Lily did.
Jim, Jim, that's a great one. That is an absolute great one. I'm constantly, also just producing these shows. People send me artwork, and I'm like, send me the original artwork with
Exactly.
no writing on it. Just send me the original thing. I can work with that. But
Right.
once you've embedded stuff on it and put other fancy things on it,
you're
I
dead.
can't work with it.
No, you
Yeah.
can't. Well, I don't know how many times Mary heard me say, send me the original artwork. Okay. Well, it's when we did Policious. Oh, look at me. Yeah, that required the original artwork because it was done digital. No, it wasn't done digitally, was it? That was hand done, I think.
Yes, that was
Yeah. But I was
watercolors.
able to really pop out the colors in that one.
Right, the watercolors.
That was, Policious Look at Me was an interesting story and an interesting book to do because I had never really done a children's book of that magnitude before, and so it was a head scratcher, but we got it done. And it turned out really good.
You gotta love Jim. He's very honest and blunt.
And now we're holding your 3 book, waiting for your go ahead on it. So
yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah, closer. Yeah, it's a combined of the 3 Policious books, which is great with the audio. Which oh my gosh,
with
I'm
the
so
3-book
excited.
audio attached to it.
Yeah,
100 copies,
yes.
special edition only.
Right, absolutely. So Brigetti will have to do a show about that. So only 100 copies available. So we'll do that getting closer to the holidays for sales. But Jim, I appreciate it. It has been a learning process. I guess every book is a learning process, right? Kim, Mariel, Darshan, even Brigetti. It's just all a learning process. And it's really great to learn. Because then you go, okay, now I know this, right? Now I understand this. We won't do it again. We'll do it this way. And that's, it also applies to a child, right? Okay. Yeah. Don't go this way, go this way. It's better to do this than to do this. So, when you buy this book, we also ask that you go to Amazon and leave a review, leave a nice few words, because those reviews count and they help the book let other people know how someone's feeling about it,
We've also just had Rob Jones join us for the show. Sometimes we've got surprise visitors. So I am just amazed that we've got Rob Jones join us. So Rob, welcome to the show. Rob, thank you so much for joining us.
His microphone is still muted.
Hello.
Rob,
sorry about that.
There we go.
Where did Mary go?
I'm sure she'll join us in a moment. Rob, thank you so much. Tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got to know Mary.
I'm Rob Jones. I'm an author of children's book and romance. And I know Mary through some friends of ours, and she's just an inspiration to me, just a joy, just an enchanted human being. And I just love everything about her. And she is just one of the kindest and most beautiful person inside and out. And she is, and she just enriches everybody's life. And I just love everything what she stands for and who she is. So
that is awesome, Rob. And we've also got another amazing guest that we've been waiting for. Mary talked about her earlier and explained, her book. So I'm going to bring on Sherry. Sherry, just a huge, big welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Very well.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
Thank you guys for being here. We're talking about this book, and Sherry, we talked about you earlier. I don't know if you heard us talking about you.
I actually got a phone call, so
you
I wasn't
did.
able to jump on. Sorry.
So Darshan asked the question, do bullies bully because of something that happened to them? Something along those lines, right, Darshan? And so then I brought you up. So
yes, and I would say when somebody is bullying another person, I would say almost always you have no idea what they're actually saying to themselves. Whatever it is that they're saying to the other person, they're probably doing it times 10 to themselves. And, you know, we hear the saying all the time, or hurt people, but I like to say broken people try to break people. That it becomes a really almost like a mission. And if they break you down, they feel just a little bit better for a short time. And that's why they really, really focus on hurting other people, because they're hurting so much themselves. And I think we typically don't necessarily try to help the bully. We look at, and they're outraged at the actual bullying, and we try to help the victim, which is equally as important, right? But I think we do have to sometimes take a pause and say, how can we help the person, and what is actually going on with the person who is doing the bullying? What's actually causing it?
Gotcha.
That's a very, very valid point, you know. And I think also when we are hurting, or somebody we love is hurting, it's very, very difficult for us to look outside of where that hurt is coming from.
Yes.
And see the other person. And so maybe that's just something that we could think about, you know, coming out from what you said, is to just think a little bit bigger from what, you know, than what we have. I want to just, before we carry on, I want to just say a huge thank you to Jim for having joined us. You've done an amazing, amazing, amazing job. So if you're out there and you want to get your book published, connect with Jim, Christina. Jim, thank you so much.
TuscanyBayBooks.com, and you're very welcome. Thank you, everybody. Mary, great seeing you.
Thank you, Jim.
I'm
so
sure
much.
we'll be talking.
Yes, it's a requirement.
2 or 3 times a day.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure. Okay.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, see you.
Hi, Rob. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing? Congratulations.
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. You missed Thornton. He had to go teach students. So what a, you know, he's in the right job for the book that we have. So he's teaching students. So, you know, thank you so much for joining us. We just love you. And Rob we've been friends for a long time as well. And Rob is an author is also, and he's got children's genres, and he has adult genres. He has romance writer, and my daughter. So Lily, we had her on video a little while earlier. She's taking her ACT today, so she can't be here, but she is in the middle of illustrating Rob's new children's book, which I love so much. It is kind of a bullying story, but it is just it's a precious story. We love it. And it's so cool because Lily's doing all of this in digital art. So this will be the first illustrated children's book she's done in digital art. And the colors are amazing. I mean, I just go, whoa. And Rob's going, whoa, over the pictures, right?
Yes, I'm over the moon. I'm like, every time she sends one, I'm like, it's incredible. It's just jaw-dropping how talented she is. And I'm so blessed and humbled by having her do my book, and I just appreciate her and Mary's friendship and their kindness and their love. I mean, sometimes it can be overwhelming in a good way, you know. And it's fantastic. I can't wait to share it.
Me too.
That is absolutely awesome. Mary, do you have the book with you?
I
do. Just read us a favorite section. So we'll take a very quick break. And when we come back, Mary's going to read us a section out of Cheers from Heaven. Stay with us. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lily Jackson. I'm on here today to say congratulations to my mom, Mary Jackson, and to Thornton Klein. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to illustrate your book. I got to do the front cover and the illustrations on the inside. Good luck today, guys, and congratulations!
They get ready to come back.
Awesome. Mary, will you read us a section from the book?
Yes, and it's funny. My neighbor this morning, here's the book right here. And I don't have my copies yet. So my neighbor who got his ran it down this morning for me so I could borrow it from him. So I appreciate him for doing that for me. He's a big supporter. So I am just really grateful for that. Okay, so I'm going to start with chapter 2. It's called Reflections. Someone turn on the noise again. The silence is too much, Julia thought. Julia's eyes followed the students around her who stared with glazed looks completely zoned out. She watched Jose looking into his lunchbox as if he was frozen in thought. Maybe I shouldn't have teased Drew about having no hair. That was mean of me, Jose thought. Jose continued to stare blankly at his lunchbox, never once looking at anyone. Jose was a shy boy. He didn't speak often, even when spoken to. What a lot of people didn't know was that he was nonverbal as a child. He seemed very self-conscious, almost as if he had once been a victim of bullying. He loved playing piano because he could escape into another world. I didn't know Drew had leukemia. I thought he wore his head bald so he could get attention. I feel bad about the way I treated him, Jose thought. Julia looked away from Jose, her eyes fixated on Emma, who was sitting a few seats to the right. Emma appeared to be lost in thought. There was a blank glare stare in her eyes, another zoned-out zombie. I had to open up my big mouth and complain to Mrs. Jackson about how unfair it was when she gave Drew answers to tests when she never helped me once. I can't believe I used to call him the teacher's pet, Emma thought to herself. Julia looked into Emma's zoned-out eyes. That was mean of me to tease Drew about Mrs. Jackson allowing him to hold his neon orange squeeze ball in class. I didn't know holding it helped him relax so that he could concentrate on his schoolwork, Emma thought. Julia wished she could read her classmates' minds. Were they thinking the same things about Drew as she was? Guilt tormented her. I really feel bad about calling him a ghost and a freak because he was whiter than snow and he always looked like a walking zombie. I had no idea he was dying, Emma thoughts continued. There we go.
That was a great
That
excerpt.
was amazing. Thank you so much for reading that. That is just wonderful. Thank you so much. I think, every school out there, I think I said it earlier, but every school out there in the world should have a copy of this book. I mean, it would just be amazing if this could become one of the prescribed books that needs to be read. That would just be the absolute phenomenal best case scenario.
Yeah, we want some schools to try it. Get the book, try it. Use the, in the back of the book, something we haven't talked about is in the back of the book, we have, there are 12 tools or applications, whatever you want to call them, that are meant for single children or groups of children or a couple of children or an entire class or a whole school. And this could be applied to homeschool as well. And I would really like to see schools try this and see what happens. I mean, they have nothing to lose, right? There's nothing to lose except bringing more awareness in, having something to teach, giving a tool to a child. It's great for guidance counselors, therapists, school counselors, churches. I mean, it's endless where this book could touch and help, right?
Well, I'm sold. I'm going to support for sure. Absolutely. I am sold.
Darshan, thank you. We appreciate that. Absolutely. So that's what the goal is. I think we want to give away a copy, don't we, Brigetti?
We do. We absolutely do. So what we're going to do is one of the viewers, we've got two editions, not 2 copies, 2 editions that we want to give away to a viewer. If you are in the USA, you can have a physical copy of the book. But if you are outside of the USA, so there's 2 giveaways. One to someone in the USA will get a physical hard copy of the book, but someone who's not in the USA, who is a viewer, can get a digital copy. So what we'll do is on Amazon, we will get you a digital copy. So if you can type in the comments, if you are watching, type Cheers from Heaven, which is the title of the book. The book talks about primarily, creating awareness of bullying, the consequences of it, and just understanding all the dynamics around it, how it affects you now and in your life forward. There's just so many things that this book touches on. So if you can type in or just whether you type it now or we'll be going through all the comments after this live stream is done. So you can do it now or later. But in this week, we will choose someone to get a physical copy of Cheers from Heaven. And if you're outside of the US, you will get a digital copy of Cheers from Heaven. Mary, I wonder if I can ask you to, again, just hold up that book so people can see the amazing cover.
Yes. Isn't it beautiful? It's gorgeous. And on the back, I'm going to show the back because the back has the little synopsis of the story, but it also has the postcard with a little bit of the title. So I just think I love it. I think it's great. Lily did a really great job. And, you know, that's an important part of writing is if you're going to have illustrations or somebody do your cover for your book, is that person really getting your, right, Sherry and Kim and Muriel and Rob and Darshan, getting your idea, your thought. What is it you're trying to portray on that cover? Because that cover can make or break the sale of your book a lot of times. People walk by and, you know, they're looking at books that doesn't draw me in, that doesn't draw me in. What draws me in? You know, and sometimes it's just the wording of the book. It's those words. It is a play on words. Sometimes it's the colors. And so, you know, I didn't really know how this cover was going to turn out. And so, but with her knowing the story, and actually there's one or two characters in the story based on some of her friends that I took, you know, when we first started this book, we wanted it to be authentic middle school life and we want to write for the child or for kids. We don't want to ever talk down to children, but it's for them through their eyes. So we took some of it based off children I already knew and their personalities and kind of how they are in life. And so I didn't really know how this cover was going to turn out. So the cool thing is about the cover, these are the 5 children that are the main characters. And then the beams of light are Drew, which I think is really super special. So, because it's Cheers from Heaven. So.
Well, that is absolutely amazing. And I think, you know, you're right. I just wanted to pick up on what you said, Mary, about getting the right illustrator. Because, you know, as the author of the book, you've got an idea in your head, you know, of what the cover should look like and what it is you want to get across to people. And I think you know, as you said, the relationship between the author and the illustrator is absolutely a crucial relationship, because you want that person to just get it right. And it's a difficult thing to do, because the illustrator hasn't got exactly the same vision, but somehow they've got to find a way of getting you to translate what it is that you're wanting onto a sheet of paper. And I just wanted to mention, you know, Jim was talking about the vivid colors. Even just that, you know, it's not just the actual image, but just getting the color right. I was thinking of Linda's book, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore, and how it was shaded, you know, correctly.
It's void of color. Yeah, it's void of color. And so, but that catches your attention. That whole gray, black, white thing, you know, is really caught because like, whoa, wait. But that's a great marketing tool. You know, we've got to keep on top of the marketing, and, you know, every little tiny bit counts when we're marketing something, right? Which we all know. So it makes or breaks things. And we always got to look for that next thing because, well, it's a very competitive world.
Absolutely. And so again, just a reminder for everyone who is watching, we want to give away 2 copies of the book, Cheers from Heaven. We'll give away 1 physical copy to anyone who's in the US, and we'll give away 1 digital copy, 1 ebook on Amazon. So we'll send you the ebook. So all you've got to do to stand in line for the next couple of days, we'll be watching the comments to give people, because not everyone is able to watch the show live, but we want to give everyone a fair chance of getting a copy of this amazing book. So for the next week, type in the title of the book, Cheers from Heaven. Put that in the comments, whether you're watching live or on the replay. It really doesn't matter. Over the next week, we'll decide who is going to get a physical copy and a digital copy. And I promise you, whether you get the physical copy or the digital copy, it's going to be so worthwhile. And I think, my dream is that this book gets into every single school. And I'm hoping that Mary and Thornton are going to get booked up with the opportunity to be able to do book readings to schools, not just in the USA, but all around the globe, because every school these days has got access to digital media. Isn't that
Right.
just amazing?
Yes, it is amazing, and it's awesome too. So I hope that too. And Sherry and I will be on together later on her show. So we'll be talking about it and celebrating
And I
and
do have a question for you, actually. So if we had a contact for you to potentially get into a school, a middle school like that, and is there an ability for the school to buy in bulk?
yes,
Or
absolutely.
any entity to buy in bulk?
Yeah, absolutely. And we didn't ask that question when Jim was here, but I've already cleared that with Jim. Yep, they would go through Jim, and I think their discount is pretty much like mine. So yeah.
Okay, super.
But they would it is a we want this book for all kids everywhere, don't we? So it's very important, and we're excited for kids. And you know what? I had somebody sent me a picture of their child just getting their book, and it just made my heart just go, oh my gosh, because I know this child's had some things happen, and we really hope this book is going to be a healer and a helper and a guide for families, for kids, for schools, for churches, for homeschools, for anywhere there are children. We're really hoping for that. And even like Brigetti was saying, even older kids, adults. We had, Nancy Lockhart was on, and she has already read it, and she's a grown-up, and she got the messages out of it that we're trying to portray, which is really good. And some of these are reminders for us grown-ups, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it has been an amazing time spending, just time with all of you, learning a little bit more about Cheers from Heaven. So a huge, big thank you to every single one who's come out to celebrate with us the launch of Cheers from Heaven, a middle grade reader that we'd like to get into the hands of people around the world. Mary, a huge, big congratulations to you once again. Darshon, thank you for joining. Sherry, thank you for joining. Rob, Gray, Kim, thank you for joining. Marielle, it's been amazing. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Stay well, and we'll see you back again on our next episode of the Writers' Corner Live next week again. So thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Be well.
Bye, Mary. Love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Congratulations.